Welcome back to another episode of the Arc Switch Survival Guide. Today we are going to teach you a couple of revolutionary gathering techniques that will totally change your life in Arc. Using these techniques, you can get thousands of stone and wood in just a matter of minutes using an Argentavis and Doedicurus and an Argentavis and Beaver team. And using their automatic gathering skills paired with the extreme mobility of an Argent, we can gather all of the stone and wood that we need right from the treetops and from the air so that we don't even have to land on the ground. And that way we can get enough materials for an entire base in just a matter of minutes without ever putting ourselves in danger of any kind. We can just do it all right from the air. So be sure to watch this whole episode. It will be full of helpful tips and tricks for really fast gathering. And if you watch the whole episode, we'll actually show you how to drop off your materials crazy fast and how to quickly sort and organize your materials into storage so that you can just make this a very quick and streamlined process. We are also going to show you some good aerial combat techniques where you can fight dangerous dinosaurs with your Argentavis and have no trouble killing them without dying yourself. So be sure to watch this whole episode. It's going to be full of lots of helpful tips and tricks that will make your life in Arc so much easier. So here we are at the plateau base, and I recently lined up all of the female tapejaras along the roof so that any eggs that they lay just drop right down in front of my front door, and I have to run right past them in order to get inside. So that's really helping with my egg farm. Now, Chewy, our beaver, has crazy high melee damage. It's like 800-ish. I mean, that's a lot. So he can gather crazy amounts of wood by knocking down a tree. But the problem is he has really low weight, so he can only knock down a couple of trees without having to run all the way back to the base. And even though beavers have reasonably fast movement speed by default, they still are nowhere near as fast as an Argent. So what I'm going to do is use my Argent to carry the beaver up to trees and then harvest them using the beaver to get the maximum amount of wood, and then we just carry it right on back. So I'm going to drop off my beaver because I just saw a Calicotherium, and those things are actually pretty bad news. I really don't want him bothering me, so I'm just going to go ahead and take him out real quick before I start gathering anything. Now, I usually try to avoid the front end of most dinos when I'm attacking them because that's usually the sharp end. That's usually where the claws and teeth are. And even though these guys are herbivores, they've got claws that can really mess you up. They also can fling poo at you, and that actually poisons you and slows you down. So you got to be careful of their long-range attacks too. So I just definitely want to get this guy off my beach so he won't bother me, and I don't really want to tame him anytime soon. So I am dive bombing his rear end because that's usually the safest spot to attack them. So I'll go up in the air, come back down after he loses sight of me, and then just keep attacking his rear until he's down. So I actually got some prime meat after attacking that guy. So an Argentavis gets a much better rate of getting prime meat from big dinos, and he's also getting this cool little buff which after you loot a dead dino with an Argent, you actually recover some health and stamina, and that's what that little green stuff popping out of my Argent is. So now that I got some prime meat, I'm going to rush right back to the base and put that in the refrigerator because prime meat spoils crazy fast, and if I can get this into the fridge immediately, I can actually cook it up and turn it into prime meat jerky for kibble, which will be really helpful. And I forgot that I left the prime meat on my Argent. I always do that. So there we go. Let's actually get the prime meat out of his inventory and get that into the fridge before it starts to spoil. And when we're done gathering, I'll come back and turn this into jerky. I have a whole episode on how to do that, so be sure to check that out if you need to know how to make prime meat jerky. And we'll be using that to make a bunch of kibble for taming better dinosaurs later. So let's get back to the gathering, shall we? So now that we've got that guy out of the way, I think he was the main dangerous thing down here in the forest. Another nice thing about clearing out this forest is as we're harvesting these trees, we're going to make a nice empty spot because this is pretty thick jungle right now. And if I can clear out all the trees, we can see really well if there's any dangerous dinos right below our base. Now, as you can see here, I'm carrying this beaver and I have not actually landed on the ground, but as long as a beaver is really close to a tree for a few seconds, it will actually harvest itself automatically. So it knocked down 3 trees without me actually having to do anything or even land. But now the beaver has so much weight, it's over halfway full on its weight, and a beaver will only automatically gather until it's halfway full on its weight and then it stops. So now the beaver should be completely overweight. He's got a ton of wood on him, so I'm just going to pick him right up. He doesn't even have to walk away, and I'll carry him right up to the base. Now you can actually get a beaver to where it's almost overweight, walk it up to a tree, harvest the tree so that he's completely overweight, and then just use the Argent to drop him off right on your doorstep. So that way, even if he's totally full to the point where he can't even move, we can actually move him with the Argent. So that's another nice thing, is you can get a few hundred extra wood that way. And I can actually fly right into my base. You may have noticed it's a kind of odd base design to leave this space open, but the reason I did that was because as long as it's like 4 stories high, I can actually fly my bird right inside while I'm carrying a dino and do just like that. Now, there's a couple ways we can unload all of this wood from the beaver, but the fastest way is to just hop on the beaver, point the screen in the direction we want those bags to go, and then we just hit the left trigger, and each time we hit the left trigger, it will drop an entire stack of wood into these little parcels. And when they're parcels on the ground like this, we can pick every single one of them up, no matter how much weight that is. So if I type in WOO into the search bar, it will select all of the wood, everything that starts with the letters WOO. And that way we can very quickly select all the wood and then hit these arrows to transfer every bit of wood from my inventory right into the storage bin. So as you can see, that was a very fast way to unload that entire beaver, and using that technique we got almost 2,000 wood in about 2 minutes. And now I'll show you how to do this with a Doedicurus for stone. Now, a Doedicurus is just like a beaver, only it gathers stone instead of wood, so we'll grab some stone with this guy real quick. Now, just like a beaver, a Doedicurus will gather stone if it's next to a boulder, as long as it has less than half of its max weight full, and it reduces the weight of stone by 75%, so it can get quite a lot of stone. Now, Doedicurus are really slow moving, even slower than a beaver, so it takes a long time to move them over to a boulder, but they can get tons of stone when they actually get to one. So once again, using the Argentavis, we are carrying our Doedicurus over to a boulder, and he will automatically smash that boulder and get hundreds of stone. Now, you don't see a message when that happens, but you definitely can see when that boulder gets ripped in half and flung all over the screen. So I'm going to put this guy down here because once again, we have another, oh man, look at that. That boulder is just flying all over the place. So we have another Calicotherium here, and this one is bright red, so he was real easy to spot. So once again, I am going to dive bomb his rear end, and as you can see, he comes after me when I'm close to the ground, but as soon as I get like 30 or 40 feet up in the air, he totally loses interest and he loses track of me. So if you get high enough above a land dino, he actually will lose track of you and stop attacking completely. And sometimes he'll wander around and you get a good clear shot at his rear end. And as long as you can do a quick stab at his rear and then fly back up, you can do this without taking any damage at all. Now, it's still risky, you may still get attacked and you may still take some damage, so I don't really recommend this tactic very much with like a Pteranodon or something with low health, but my Argent has tons of health and pretty good attack power, so we should make reasonably quick work of this guy. There we go. And that was a level 18, decent level, and let's see if we can get some prime meat from this guy too. Oh yeah, not bad. So we got 4 raw prime meat and quite a lot of meat and hide too. So we get meat and hide really quickly using this Argentavis. It's pretty great. So I'll try to keep this prime meat from spoiling and we'll bring our Doedicurus back up to the base. But since he's got just a tiny bit of weight capacity left, I'm going to try to smash down a couple little trees to get some thatch too. We're going to need a lot of thatch for building, and Doedicurus and Ankylosaurs are actually really good at harvesting thatch. And you can see here he is not picking up that boulder because he is overweight, so I need to bring him back to the base and unload all the stuff that he's got. Now I should still be able to move with the Doedicurus right now, so I am going to first of all grab this prime meat off of my Argent, and we'll get that back into the refrigerator so it does not spoil before I cook it. That's actually going to be a big thing that I'm working on, is getting a whole lot of kibbles, because kibbles will allow me to tame really high level dinos, and I want to tame a male Argentavis so I can start breeding my Argents. And as long as we have enough kibble for it, we'll be able to get it at a very high level when we tame it. So we'll do that probably in the next few episodes. So now that we have the Doedicurus here in our base, we'll just do the same process to unload all of this stone, and even just in a few minutes, I'd say this has been under 10 minutes of gathering, even including attacking those dinosaurs, and we have probably enough materials to build an entire fortress out of stone. So it's pretty efficient and quick to do it this way. But in the next episode, I am planning to teach you how to make a supply drop delivery chute. And what we're going to do is build something so that we can actually land our Argentavis on the roof of our base. We'll have a little doorway that we can just throw piles and piles of supplies into the doorway, and it will all land right inside our base. So that's going to be a very helpful thing, and we'll have a very, very efficient gathering system once we do that. And you're probably wondering why I need so many supplies, because we are getting a ridiculous amount of supplies. But very soon I am going to build a giant taming pen that we can use to trap even Paraceratheriums and Brontosaurs, which are huge dinos, but it'll be a big enough taming pen that we can carry any of the dinos that we want to tame into it. And I'm also going to set it up so it'll have automatic locking mechanisms and a ramp so we can get dinos to just drop right into it. So the next few episodes should be very helpful, and if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so it will tell you when all of those helpful ARC guides come out. And if you thought this video was helpful, please drop a like and put a comment. We always love hearing your feedback, especially if you have any questions about gathering or any tips and advice for other people, because I know a lot of you have been playing ARC for a long time and you have great advice and ideas too. And sometimes I learn some of my great tricks from all of you, so I definitely appreciate your feedback. Also, check out the link in the description for the new YouTube channel where my wife and I play video games together, and we would love if you jump over there and subscribe to that channel too. So, thanks so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching this video from the ARK Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. ARK is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on ARK.